Hello and welcome back. Let's continue our aquatic adventures in our little bay area. There's another thing about the first Final Fantasy is it starts off very slow. Incredibly slow. You spend about a quarter to like a third of the game not even getting to the first major antagonist. Odd-Eye. Ooh, now they're usually red. Now they've been switched to green. They look like seaweed now, actually. Okay, Nicholas. Even with your new weapon, you ain't doing shit. Oh. They're squishy, which scares me. Squishy enemies usually mean, they do damage. Oh, shit, I forgot they could do this. They could paralyze us. I totally fucking forgot they do this. Odd-Eyes are typically more dangerous in parties where they're partnered with Sahagin. Because they usually, I remember there's 2 Odd-Eyes, like a party of 6 Sahagin, I believe. That's a party formation from the original. So that's where they get their danger from, I guess. Decent experience in Cash, at least for how easy that fight was. But, gonna check the map again, like I always do. While that's making that annoying noise, I'm gonna stretch my legs. Shit. Okay. Now there's a little place. Yeah. Okay. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. Let's go on a small journey. Viewers, will you humor me on this small journey that I'm going to take us on? This might get us killed, actually. Probably definitively get us killed, but let's give her a shot. This is going to be a bunch of money if we pull through. Ogres are sitting on fat stacks of cash. Fat stacks of cash. I mean fat stacks of cash, but this one's surrounded by creeps, so. What's Ruse do? What the fuck does Ruse do? Evade up 80? Okay. Oops. Wrong target. Oh well, missed anyway, so. Excuse me, right? Bio first on the Ogre. Poison, there we go. Success! I did not speed up. I intended to reset in me. Well, I couldn't reset in me, but I could have just rebought the, I could have just rebought the fucking sword. But it's principle, you know? The act of principle. I am the principal here. This is just really fucking... This is going to take forever. Look at this shit. They're just going to kick our asses. If we don't cast fog! That's 1 letter away from being offensive. 1 vowel away from being a cancelable offense. But, you know, that's just how it goes. Fog is close. It's really close. Oh, I could have made a horrible joke, but I don't want to make a joke that's too close to bad words. You know, you can just add an it at the end of it, and what's one of those? Is it a bundle of cool air? Instead of a bundle of sticks, it's a bundle of cool air. That was terrible. I essentially just made the joke. Oops. Whoa. Was that a UFO outside? Oh no, I was just freaking... Okay, disregard. They're like in the curtains, not curtains, but you know those like, not curtains, but you know when you pull that string and they freaking close shut? It's one of those, and there's like peeking through a tiny little hole is the moon. I moved my eyes up, and so I just made a whoop across my vision. I was like, oh shit, am I being abducted by aliens? Is my rectum gonna be probed? Even more so than it's probably already been. So, god damn, nothing is dying. At least the friggin' Ogre is slowly dying of just disease. He's just sitting there just like, bleh, just vomiting like it's Wizardry 6 or something. I made that joke prior, but you get what I'm trying to say. So, just keep up the assault. Nothing else I can do besides just freaking perpetuate this enormous waste of time. Like I said, Final Fantasy, the first one, rather slow, and Manall here is making it a little bit more... Not... He said he removed grinding. He didn't remove it, but reduced it. But he said there's still grinding. But increased difficulty. So I've mentioned that before, and this is the part that concerns me the most. Just because difficulty sucks. I'm a filthy casual, I guess. The filthy casual plays NES RPGs, you know how it goes. Oh, just fucking creeps, just fucking die. Just freaking called Gigas Worms in later games when they have more letters to work with, Gigas Worms. Even though it's not like their mouths look like big old cartoony lips. So, again, I get that image of the episode of Serial Experiments Lane where she like looks into the cyberspace and just finds that person as talking lips as their avatar. If you have seen Serial Experiments Lane. I don't know, I feel like that's an anime that more people have seen. Because there's always like that thing where it's like, oh, I watched the intellectual, obscure show about how friggin' the internet and how we adopt different personalities online than we do in real life, and that juxtaposes and used imagery and the fact that the internet gives us essentially the ability to ascend to godhood and all this other shit. It sounds kind of crazy, right? Maybe you should, if you haven't seen Serial Experiments Lane, give it a watch. It's pretty cool. I liked it. But that's the thing, I don't want to have that. It's so obscure and you just don't understand my palate is refined kind of narcissistic bullshit, because I also like garbage. Like, I remember with my ex, we watched the anime Kuma 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 Bear, and that show was kind of shit, but it was fun and stupid. And we had adorable little bear mounts. This ogre is just progressively... This has been a rather consistent way to deal with this one ogre, even though we entered his swamp. Holy shit, is he dead now? Yeah. Fucking came in with a crit. Hell yeah. Monster Spares. Now see how much money we're going to get? Just look at this. Oh, it's beautiful. 240 gil. Oh. I feel so happy. Actually getting money. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we just gotta keep going up this way. Fine, I'll humor this again. If this party formation pops up a third time, I'm going to ignore it. It's just really, I don't want to ignore the 240 gil. To me, that is a monumental friggin'... Just fucking... All of you fucking die. No. See, when I cheer on my party members, they miss. So we have one... Okay, I'm going to put Fog first this time. Because they're hitting pretty hard, and we have lower HP than we did in the last encounter. So, raising the Absorb is probably a smart thing to do. Turn 1 with Beth. At least with this encounter. Ultimately. It's funny, I'm looking at my Discord and I see message 2, which is like, oh yeah. Oh boy, I'm gonna have that to return to. It's nothing at least monumentally insane, I don't think. It's just talking about my Discord avatar currently, because I changed it to a picture of a cat. You know that, cat... That, famous picture of a cat looking all happy next to a pile of pancakes? I like that picture. That cat makes me happy. So I put that picture as my avatar, and it brings me immeasurable joy. Just all of you are attacking. Just fuck off. Just all you stop. I can't wait till you all fucking die. So I can just fucking rip your guts out. So we got Nick, readies her sword, swings, and does 11 damage to the creep. The creep gets knocked back for a second, but stands back up. I don't want to play a DM, it's kind of not my thing. I just think it's also kind of fun playing with the imagination. Now just imagine the ogre just sitting there going, oh, my tummy hurts. Oh, my tummy hurts. Just this green fog enveloping its face, going into its nostril, and it just lurches over going, oh, my tummy hurts. That's the image I'm putting in your head of this ogre. Ogres have layers, okay? The freaking stink. The stink of nausea had to penetrate many layers. Finally, something's dead. Holy shit. Yeah, I really should have turned up the response rate. That's my bad. Absolutely, monumentally my mistake. At least, friggin' less battles overall because of the nature of less grind. I think at least friggin' doing 1 damage, 9 damage, there we go, that's damage. 1 more cure, we're already running low on our magical resources, and I think if I keep grinding properly, I can afford potions. So that's an option. At least the ogre is progressively dying. So at least we're doing damage to the ogre. Every time it attacks, it just friggin' stomach lining erodes more at its acid in the stomach. It erodes at the stomach lining even more, you know? Freaking it starts with a little case of the heartburn. Then the tummy starts to hurt a little bit more. Right there. And now freaking soon the stomach acid is going to be melting his organs from the inside out. And you know, it's something we all have to, all my party members are going to have to live with the trauma of seeing for the rest of their lives. And dear viewer, you're going to have to live with the trauma of the image I've forcefully implanted in your brain. Of friggin' a pink Shrek, friggin' stomach bursting. So, you're welcome. I hope you enjoy that, the nightmares, the fresh nightmares. Okay, I say fresh nightmares, well, I've seen some shit recently. I'm in this group on Facebook, it's Boomer Book, and they just post, like, really insane stuff, and it's a whole meta joke. But, like, there's, like, you've ever seen the anime Attack on Titan, you know that Titan in, like, the first episode with all the fog coming out of it, and shit, all the smoke coming out of it. Here's this in real life, and there's just shows a tiny video in the bottom right corner of the screen, and it's just a freaking Harlequin baby gasping and dying. A video, mind you. It took me a second to realize what was going on, and I see that's breathing, and I'm just like, oh, that's nightmarish. That is absolutely horrific in this world of eternal suffering, it seems. The fact that that is allowed to happen in the first place is shocking and disturbing. But, you know, that's just a reality of life, is kind of horrific. If you don't know what a Harlequin baby is, don't do yourself a favor and not look it up. If you desperately need to know, I mean desperately, start with Wikipedia, don't use Google. Use Wikipedia. Wikipedia will spare you a brunt of the misery. So, just do that instead. You're going to be doing yourself a favor if you're not hardened like I am through just sheer overexposure to just fucked up shit. Because I see people less and less. As I see younger people getting onto the internet, I see people who less and less accustomed to shock media, to shock stuff, and I honestly don't know if that's a good or bad thing. We're tough. People like me are tough, but we're also jaded and fucked up. It's that whole, like, I turned out fine. It's like, no, you did not, and I can't sit there and say I turned out fine either, you know? That castle is really far away. We're gonna make our trek back. I'm just going back. How much money do we have? 783 gil. Fuck yeah. Zombie wolves. We can take them. We can take them. Let's go. Can we take them, actually? Can we take 5 wolf dicks? I don't know. We don't have any more heals, do we? Let's flee. No. That's not gonna work. At least this isn't Final Fantasy III. If you don't know, the Famicom version of Final Fantasy III, if you try to run, I shit you not, your party members' defenses get halved. Like, I shit you not. So you're completely discouraged from running from any fight whatsoever, just because running from a fight is suboptimal to an intense degree. At least the enemies around here friggin' give more goodies in the friggin' money, so I can afford this save station right here. So let's, I guess, kill stuff. As much as I don't like grinding on screen, don't worry, after this episode, I'm going to stop recording and do some off-screen grinding, I guess. I guess I have to. Because this is the point we're at. But honestly, that's the thing about the first Final Fantasy. I have to articulate, until you fight the Lich, the game's going to be very slow until you fight the Lich. And that's the thing, is especially the later iterations of this game speed things up. I was watching stream archives of this one, like, small YouTuber, 59 subscribers. I found him boring as sin. I hope I'm not as boring. I think the biggest thing that separates me from somebody like that is I don't stop talking for like 7 to 10 seconds at a time as I sit there and ponder pressing the A button, you know? I have to sit there and think of my strategy while fighting 3 imps by just mashing the A button. You know, it's friggin'... I don't have to think about party formation, priority targets, or any shit like that, but I'm still gonna sit there and stop talking. But ultimately, criticism aside, seeing... just... where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I was talking about... he was playing the PS1 version, I believe. Because it has that music that I recognize from the PSP version that isn't completely watered down by the Game Boy fans' lack of sound chip. So I suspect it was the PS1 version. And friggin' leveled up quickly, got money super quickly, and they make... I feel like in later iterations, they speed up, they speed up the whole game, but especially this beginning portion. Because this beginning portion is definitely the friggin' slowest part of this whole fucking game. Final Fantasy, the first one, opens up to you very slowly, but once it does open up, you get to see the beauty that this game lies within it, you know? So take that with a grain of salt if you're watching all these episodes back to back to back. Which you probably, if you give a shit, you're probably not. You're probably going to click on the video, watch for 4 seconds, and be annoyed by me and click away. That seems to be a trend. But ultimately, I talked about this before when it comes to creative endeavors, is to make them for yourself first. If you make them for yourself first, somebody, someday, somewhere might appreciate it, at least in a degree of savantism. I mean, that's why I appreciate the Star Wars prequel movies. You're going, what, you actually like those movies? It's like, define like. I find them interesting. I find them unique. Because my whole thing is, a lot of people will argue that the sequel trilogy is better than the prequel trilogy. And it's hard, I tend to not agree with that, because the sequel trilogy, for how it's structured, is Episode 7 is derivative of Episode 4, and then slowly they try to completely subvert everything that you know, and undermine everything that you know, to shock you and to make, this is different, like, totally right, guys? I don't particularly like that, because at least with that, because even if subverting a trope or subverting a piece of media, you're still beholden to what the media was initially. To subvert something, you have to do the opposite of it. And so with friggin' Star Wars, it's like George Lucas said, it rhymes, you know, so it's not going to particularly be 100% different. But the prequel trilogy has a lot of definitive pieces of it that are different. Like the clones versus the droids, that's different. Friggin' midichlorians, I guess. I don't know, fuck. But the first Episode 1 friggin' starts with doesn't start, but it ends like halfway through the movie, they have pod racing. Uh-oh. Oh. Let's not deal with asps. If you don't know, asps poison. They're a little toxic, and we are not properly equipped to deal with poison currently. So let's ignore those for now and just hope and pray to every deity out there that they don't fuck with us. Perfect. Let's go. Cash money, cash money. I look at ogres now and I just see dollar signs. That's just how it be. So now let's just do our primary strategy that seems to have worked, with the party formation slightly more complex than this. Slightly. but at least we get the preemptive strike on the creeps and the ogre, making things a little bit better. It kind of takes the edge off, you know, a little bit. Me taking edge off as me, the edge lord themselves. I don't know. That's like an interesting concept. I was talking to my coworker, because ultimately I've been thinking about how edgy do I want to make my content on this channel. Obviously, I make some edgy jokes sometimes. But there's like this whole... I put a lot of thought into this, because I don't want to overexpose the audience to that, to where it stops becoming funny. I also want to make it funny to begin with, because this is the whole thing I've talked about. Edgy does not equal funny immediately. It's not... It's funny. Edge and funny are exclusively different things, and they can overlap. It's just really hard to make them overlap perfectly, because the whole nature of the problem with edgy and offensive humor and its very nature is it's more dependent on the reaction that it gets towards it than to what was said initially, if that makes any sense. So the whole nature of making edgy comedy is to make something that's funny that happens to be edgy. So at least at its very core, it is funny while also getting strong reactions out of people. You're aiming for the double whammy, essentially. And that double whammy right there is what is important when it comes to that style of humor. I'm talking like William Shatner, it seems, but you get what I'm trying to say. Ultimately, you try. And that's a whole huge thing, because even though this channel is predominantly improv, shitty improv, but my whole thing is I actually do plan itineraries of what to do, and I think about what things I want to make, because if I played a game before, I can think about humor I can inject in there ahead of time. It's not exactly scripted. It's still off the cuff, but rather intelligently placed. Now, ultimately, if I was playing off of somebody, I could probably do something completely different. But since I'm by myself, I have to tactfully figure out what I'm doing. I'm just trying to say I put more thought than you'd think I would. Because that's a huge thing. The whole Let's Play culture is concept is this whole thing about non-thinking ahead of time and just reacting to things as they happen. That is an element, but I also want to throw in an element of premeditation and comedy ideas. Not even just comedy, but knowledge. As you can see, I've actually spent a lot of time figuring out how this ROM hack works, along with remembering and doing more research into how the first Final Fantasy works, so I could try and make something entertaining, while the first Final Fantasy is probably not the most riveting game by its core to watch. You know what I mean? So it's trying to find a balance of what I want to do, what I can do, and how to do it. I'm trying. Basically, what I'm saying is I'm doing my best. You can't fault me for trying my best. Ooh, yeah, 146 for blue. Now that is a good jump. That is a good jump in HP. I like that jump. Seems all the stats level up instead of random stats like in the first one. I'm not complaining. 126. 2 HP. Fucking 2 HP. I know I was joking earlier about the thief having more HP than the fighter, but I didn't expect things to turn out like this. But anyway, let's look at the rest of the stats that go up on this level 6. Level 6 is a pretty decent level, actually. We're making some progress. Dun dun dun. Yeah, I get this song is in every fucking game, it seems. Ooh, Beth broke the 100 HP. Hell yeah. Yeah, girl. Yes, Queen Slay. Ooh, blue. Oh, blue might. Blue might. I think blue has enough. If blue has enough hit, blue can attack. Go with 2 hits. Because multi-hits, how multi-hit stacks works. So let's hit. Or is it damage? I think it's hit. Yeah, I think it's associated with hit, and I think it needs to be like its mid-20s. So you'll see in this next fight if blue is doing some... Because that will monumentally increase what we're dealing with, because that will have blue hitting twice instead of once. And that's a lot. That would be a lot of damage. And that will also make these tougher fights significantly easier. But see, that's the... If what I'm saying is correct, that's like the first push of this snowball down a hill. I hope. Ultimately trying to get some cash money so we can go and buy some more magic so we can just become more efficient at what we're doing. That's ultimately the goal currently, and then maybe invest in some armor or other magics as well. Let's see. 39 damage, well, that's still impressive. Still impressive. It wasn't a 2 hits, so I don't know. I don't know why I attacked the wolf with blue, because blue could have just one-hit another wolf with a 39 damage. Probably could have one-hit the other one, but I'm not thinking, and that's disappointing. That's like my whole thing with the first Final Fantasy, is be mentally engaged constantly, but I always said I trust ROM hackers, because ROM hackers is anything that these people who make these overhaul ROM hacks know is the game that they are working on. So ultimately I can trust there to be a sense of progression and difficulty curve that causes. Because that's the thing when I play Final Fantasies 1, 2, and 3, I want a mentally taxing and challenging experience. I know that sounds strange and foreign, because why would I want something like that? But it's fun to me. Like I said, if you listen to me talk about the games I played, like Wizardry 6, like, Wizardry 6 isn't that easy of a game. I never beat it. I got 10 hours in, which probably isn't very far, but I remember getting to the underground area, like the mines, I think it was the mines. And that was cool, and then I just stopped playing, and mainly because treasure chests kept fucking me over. Locked doors were a pain too. I didn't have a thief. So that's the thing, is I'm not actually particularly fond of having thieves in my parties. Ouch. Ooh, we're dealing with lots of money. Let's get some magic. Oh, road. Ah, peace. Okay, let's... Nope. Let's not fucking with that. We're being chased by snakes. They're trying to not allow us to go on the high seas. The snakes just want to ruin our lives. Oh boy. Let's just go. Yeah, let's use, since Nick is the first one just to throw hands, let's just use that opportunity, high luck stat, to get the fuck out of there. Because getting the fuck out of there is what we call a smart idea. Okay, this is a party we can deal with. Okay, maybe not. Blue has been paralyzed. Is the other odd eye gonna do that too? Come on, fuck me up, fam. Yep, my two main attackers paralyzed. Friggin' their spines have been snapped from the waist down, I guess. Oh, no, Nick got up. Nick just immediately got up. Was like, ooh. Nick was just like, ooh, okay, yeah, I'm better. Okay, I got it. It's all good, guys. Thumbs up. You got it. So let's just kill the odd eye. When I think of odd eyes, I know odd eyes like friggin' thing. Oh yeah, I forgot Red Saugans use Scorch. Oh, fucking shit. Ass. Fucking shit. I don't like that. I really don't fucking like that. Anyway. Yeah, let's make life hell. Let's just absolutely make life miserable. Okay, fire shield up. Flame shield up. Let's go. Let's protect ourselves from the Red Sahuagin. What do I attack first? Do I attack the odd eyes so they don't paralyze us? Or do we attack the Red Sahuagin so it doesn't burn us? Only time will tell. Come on. Come on, game. There we go. Okay. Let's just fuck you up. I ain't dealing with that. Every time you try to light us on fire, you will suffer. You will just if you even think about shooting fire. Static. 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 That's new. That's new. Excuse me? Just not fuck with them. Friggin' not. Friggin' high seas marauders? Yep. Okay. Beth has lower absorb. So. Shit. No, just you're not equipped for this shit. If we were of higher resources, I'd fuck you sharks up entirely, and I would friggin' cut your fins off and make them into not so delicious soup. Okay. So let's magic for Beth. Beth knows bio. So, what we got going on here? What do we got? Ice, dark, bio. Poison shield. For Beth, poison shield is going to be a necessity. Because Manall said poison got buffed. How good would mute actually be compared to invis? You know? Actually, regen for if I do regen on Beth, so I can have some tonal consistency with that, because I'm just really obsessed with that. So invis or mute can both go to Bert. Mute can help us on the high seas with the red Sahagin. That could work, and the odd eyes. So let's go with mute, I guess. I imagine, friggin' shit will be powerful. Shit will be fucked. Okay. But hey, we're slowly increasing our repertoire of magic. So let's take this opportunity to save and cut things off. What's in the ice shop? Do you have tents here? Yes, tents are 75. Not bad. Tents are also an easy way to save in the overworld, just in case you think you're going to get fucked hard. Ultimately, if you can save at one of these places at an inn, it's better. But yeah, that will end today's episode. I'll see you all next time, same place. Between episodes, I might do some money grinding for some more spells, so I can at least get the last two level 2 spells. At the very least, then I can continue towards the destination I intended to this episode? Maybe? I don't fucking know, I just wasted a lot of your goddamn time. Oh well. Anyway, goodbye.